Hi, today we're going probiotic and having some Instant Pot fun. So probiotics, as you remember, is beneficial bacteria that improve our gut health. And today we're using the Instant Pot to make yogurt. And I've made yogurt with heavy cream, which turned out pretty good, and regular milk. And I decided to try half and half. And I haven't used the Instant Pot yogurt function, so I'm going to learn with you guys as we step through it. So all you need is some form of milk. So I use half and half, and plain yogurt that has live active cultures, and plain, because all you have here is just cultured non-fat milk. You don't want any sugar, any fruit, or any other gunk. So one thing about yogurt and probiotics, it's bacteria. It just happens to be a good bacteria. To deal with any bad bacteria, I've cleaned the Instant Pot, and I'm going to run it through its first time cycle. 2 cups of water. Just let it boil at high pressure for 5 minutes. Now that the pot has been cleaned and sterilized, I'm going to pour the milk in, or the half and half. All right, here's the yogurt function. Hit boil. Let's see what else happens. I guess that's time less, time more, and boil. So we'll just boil. The purpose of boiling the milk is to get rid of any of the existing bacteria in the milk. That way when you start adding the yogurt, you know what you put in. Since we're trying to introduce a known bacterial strain from the yogurt, we don't want to cross-contaminate it, so I typically try to boil all the equipment that I'm going to use to make sure I kill off any unwanted bacteria. Alright, the Instant Pot just chimed. It's been 20 minutes. Let's take a look. It's definitely steaming. I use the thermometer to check the temperature. Typically over 170 is good, but let's see what the Instant Pot does. So roughly 177, 178. Yogurt cultures need temperatures below 115 to grow. Anything above that will kill the culture. So right now we just need to let this cool down to 115, 110. Alright, I got a container of ice water. I'm going to try to cool this off a little quicker. It's at 173. Take it out of the pot and just let it sit. Make sure I don't overflow it. Oh, good, just right. Okay, the milk has dropped to 110. I'm going to put it back into the Instant Pot and start adding the yogurt culture. All right, it's time to add the yogurt culture, but I'll add a little milk to sort of thin out this culture. This is my first time using a Greek yogurt culture. I usually use just something like a plain Dannon yogurt, which is a lot thinner. So I'm just basically going to add this whole container in there. And by thinning it out, it makes it easier to pour and disperse. And also, this is usually, I guess it's like yeast. The more you add, the quicker it will ferment. It should mix easily. You put on the lid and set it to yogurt. All right, the Instant Pot's been sterilized. The milk has been heated and then cooled to 110. I added the yogurt culture and mixed it in. Now I'll turn on the Instant Pot. That's 10 hours. Boil I just did 24. I was playing with this earlier. It seemed to remember what I set it. The default is 8. I don't know what happens after 8, but I'll set it, leave the default 8 hours. All right, see you in the morning. Here's the leftover milk culture and some of the half and half I put in there. One reason I use half and half for a heavy cream is that it adds a lot more richness and seems like sweetness versus non-fat. Non-fat seems just to be very tart. Like this non-fat Greek yogurt is tart, but the half and half is adding a. I could taste the richness in this little sample here. So hopefully, when we have yogurt, it's going to be a nice, full-flavored, rich, creamy yogurt. That's my goal. For storing the yogurt, this step is optional. I've boiled my containers. I'm going to use glass jars and ceramic and plastic. Plastic I wash thoroughly. Alright, the yogurt's been done. I went through an 8-hour cycle and it's probably in the end mode for probably 2 hours. So I have some containers that I've cleaned. The ceramic and glass ones I've boiled just to make sure they were extra sterile, and the plastic container I have washed in hot water and thoroughly dried. Looking at the yogurt, you could tell it definitely gelled. Temperature is around 84. All right, let's see how this looks. I'll start by, ooh, it's nice, really thick. Wonder if I should give it a stir, but I'll ladle into my custard cups a serving size. For the jars, I have a canning funnel. I went through a phase where I was into home canning. So I'll start filling these up. As I'm filling these jars, I could smell the tanginess of the yogurt. I'm surprised the texture looks pretty good. I'm surprised by the thickness of the yogurt. Alright, here are the results of the Instant Pot yogurt with half and half. I have these custard cups that I'm going to eat throughout the week. And for longer term storage, I have the canning jars and the plastic container with lid. I'll give it a shot, see how it tastes. It surprisingly gelled up really nice. I was expecting it to be a little more liquidy, but it had a 8-hour ferment. You could smell the tanginess. It's not as tangy as regular plain yogurt, but it does have the yogurt tang, and the half and half, I think the richness adds a lot of smoothness to the yogurt. I'm going to cover this up and refrigerate and see how it tastes when it's cold. Alright, here's the chilled yogurt. If you want to add flavor, I tend to go for low sugar, low carb. So you could do sugar-free vanilla, or you could add a little bit of real vanilla. You could add stevia, or you could just add like berries. And if you don't have fresh berries, I just use frozen berries. And just mix it in. And give it a taste. Adds a nice little chill. The yogurt definitely has a smoother, velvety texture compared to just non-fat yogurt, and it's not as tart. It has some tartness, but not as tart as a commercial store-bought yogurt. Overall, pretty good results.